I love apples, but I hate peeling them. So I picked up this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. You might like apples, I do, and there are all sorts of reasons that you might want to peel an apple. I mean, if you're barbaric, you'll just take a bite out of it. But they're usually sprayed with pesticides, dust, covered in a little bit of protective wax or whatever, so you always want to wash those apples, but sometimes they get a little bruised or damaged, or they have stickers on there that you don't want to peel off, and a lot of times we just cut off the skin. So I do that a lot myself. But it's also nice to kind of slice them up so that you don't have that core in there either. Now, again, like I said, you can get around it, but it's just nice having that convenience. And when you live in the lap of luxury, you want these things cut up so that they're nice, easy finger foods. So, enter this little bad boy. Instead of taking a knife and cutting them all up and being really slow about it, this little core slice peeler is something that I'm actually familiar with. They've been around forever. I actually learned about this from my aunt and uncle. Years and years ago, they had something like this, and it was kind of fun to watch. So I thought I would pick this up and see what kind of innovations they've made over the last decade, and if it works. And looks like we don't have to do any assembling here. Looks like it comes fully assembled for the most part. This one's in red. I've also seen them in a variety of different colors if you want them in a different color. And this is all metal. It's all metal construction, kind of fire engine red. What we have here on the bottom is a big suction cup, activated with this little lever. So you can see here, if I pull this lever up, pulls up the inside. So if you have a nice smooth surface, Corian, tile, laminate, something like that, you can put it right on your countertop and suction this sucker up to hold it in place. Now mine is granite. I'm actually curious if there's enough of a flat surface for this to work, but we will try that. And then up top here we have this little cradle, and you can see the spiral bar in the middle here, but what we are missing is a little handle. So it does come with a little handle with a little screw end, so you just need to install that. It looks like that's the only assembly required. As you can see, it'll go right in here just like that. And then to use this, which I'll demonstrate here in a minute, is you pull this off. So you have these spikes, and you'll take your apple, I think the kind of the top side, and then you will center it through the core and push this on. Now what's going to happen is this little brace right here is actually two blades. So there is a blade right here on the front, and that's like a knife blade, and as you turn this, what's going to happen is it's going to spin the apple around on this blade, which is going to cut the apple into a long spiral. The other blade here, so this little circle here is very sharp as well, and that's going to separate the core right there. Now, the last piece of this, as it's rolling back, is this little arm with this little curved, turned blade on it. And so what you're going to do is once you get that apple set up, you're going to put this little blade on the apple, and that is going to peel the skin off the apple as it's spinning and being dragged down. And you can see right back here, there is this little tooth, and that is going to fit into these spirals right there and pull this back. Alright, so I'm up here in the kitchen. This is granite. It tends to be a little porous, but I'm just going to see if it sticks there. Perfect. It's on there, nice and securely. Now, one of the things that you have to do is you don't drag the apple this way. You actually push the apple into this little cutter right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go counterclockwise and wind this thing all the way back so that I can get my apple onto these spikes. Now that I've got it back here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the apple onto these spikes. Be careful that you don't have your hand here. You don't want to impale your hand at all. So I want to pull this back so I can get the apple on there, and then push it onto these spikes. And now what I'm going to do is wind this clockwise until it lines up with the little peeling blade here. And then I'm going to lay that onto the apple, just like that. And you can see, it takes a little bite. And now as it pushes and reaches this blade, it will core and slice the apple here while peeling it. So I'm just going to get out of the way of the camera here and start turning it clockwise. Look at that. Looks like you can actually go with some speed on this thing. And as you push it all the way through, now it's on the other side of the slicer, I can just kind of pull it off right here. And what I want to show you, now what I have here is a sliced apple, kind of looks like a pineapple, with the core removed and the skin removed too. How awesome is that? So now I can just take my apple bite. Doesn't get any easier than that. Hey, if you want to pick up this little old school tool to core, slice, and peel your apples, I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.